Okay, today we'll be discussing about event handling in Splunk dashboard. So if you have seen like normal web pages, what happened, like people select something from the drop down, right? Or select the radio button or click on a checkbox, right? And based on those events, like click event or select event, right? You take some actions, right? So similar kind of concept exists in Splunk dashboard as well, where when you select something from a form input like multi-select, drop down, right, or you select on radio button or you click on a checkbox, right, based on that you can take certain actions. Okay, and also if you remember, Splunk dashboards are powered by SPL, right, search processing language. So Splunk has that capability as well, like based on certain search phases, like whether the search is in done state or preview state, okay, in progress state, you can take certain actions as well. Okay, so if we divide this whole event handling um, in Splunk dashboard, we can subdivide into four basic parts. Okay, one is the form input level, where you select something from the checkbox, drop down, or click on a link. Based on that you can take certain actions. Okay, or it could be a search level, where you capture basically different states of the search, whether it's an error, whether it's failed, whether it's cancelled, in progress. Based on that you can do certain actions. Or it could be a visualization level itself, where you click on a particular visualization, which we generally call drill down, right? So that is also possible. That is also another event in Splunk dashboard as well. Okay, or it could be dashboard page load level. That means when you refresh a dashboard, right, at that level also you can take certain actions. Okay, so now based on what kind of event fired, it can be again subdivided into certain stuff, like form input level. When you change something, that means you click something or change, select something from the drop down or multi select, right, the change event fired over there. Okay, and now when you capture that event, right, you can do the conditional capturing as well, like which value you have selected, like this, whether it's based on level or not, or the value level as well, what is the value of that particular selected one. Or you can capture some kind of match event as well, the selected value is matching with something or not. Based on those conditions you can set a token, unset a token, eval a token. Eval token is very similar to set token, where you can use different kinds of eval expression over there, or you can link to another dashboard page as well. Okay, so even there are certain condition we can capture without these things as well, where we generally mm, use it for like normal defaulting purpose. Okay, we'll see that one as well today. Okay, similarly for search state level as well, you can do the conditional capturing. Here the condition will be at the search level. That means whenever a Splunk search runs, right, we know it creates a job, right? So there are certain kind of job properties you can capture in this conditions level, and then again it can, you can set unset token and eval token as well. Okay, we'll see some of the use cases today. Okay, visualization level, it's called drill down and selection, right? If you remember, I already created a video for this one, so I'll be giving that link as well over here. We will not be discussing the visualization level event handling in this particular video. Okay, and dashboard page level, as I said, so whenever a dashboard loads, you can do certain kind of actions over there as well, like similar kind of set unset token. Okay, using init tag. So to demo it, what I have done is I actually downloaded a dataset called student performance dataset. Okay, it's a very simple dataset where we have student gender, their ethnicity, and their parental level of education. Okay, what education their parents having, whether they have provided the standard or free lunch or reduced lunch, whether those students have test preparation scores completed or not. Based on that, we have their math score, reading score, and writing score. Okay, so we will be creating this kind of dashboard today. So we'll have like 5 to 6 drop downs over here based on gender, ethnicity, parent education, lunch, test preparation, and there is a special drop down called scored graph by. So what will happen is in this particular drop down we'll have both gender, ethnicity and all. That means the below panels, if you see over here, so it's basically shows up the math score, reading score, writing score based on gender, based on ethnicity, based on both. It's a trellis chart. Okay, we'll show that one. So if I select gender from here, only the gender graph will be showing over here, nothing else will be shown over here. Here we will implement the from input level change event. Okay, and if I just show all, it will show all of these three graphs. Okay, and if you see it, each and every graph level also we have certain kind of radio buttons. So if I select math, if I select just all, it will show for all the scores together. If I just select math, it will only just show the math score. Okay, here also we will see certain kind of change event implementation. Okay, similarly for this graph as well. So the difference between this graph and this graph is here the radio buttons are vertically inclined, here it is horizontally inclined. We'll see how to implement them as well. Okay, and in the last graph where we are basically showing up based on both gender and ethnicity. Okay, so we have a trellis chart. So if you do not know about trellis chart, don't worry about it, I'll create a separate video for that. Trellis is a very special layout in Splunk where if you have multiple stuff in your x-axis, right, so you can group them like this. So if you see my each and every graph have my x-axis as my gender, right, and then it is creating a separate graph for each and every ethnicity. Okay, we'll see how to create this trellis chart as well with simple application today. Okay, so this will be our motto today. So let's not waste our time and start developing this dashboard first. Okay, so I have indexed that data in my main index. So this is our initial data set. Okay, so I'll be going to my dashboard. I'll create on new dashboard. I'll give it a name called student performance demo. Okay, I'll click on create dashboard. Okay, so first thing we'll do is we will just create this 6 drop downs. Okay, so before that what we'll do is we will create a base search. It's always good practice to create a base search in Splunk dashboards so that the results will be cached when the dashboard runs, right? So this is how we create a base search. We have to create a search tag, then ID equals to, I'll just give it a name called base underscore search. Okay, so the query I will be having is the query tag. I'll be having this search. Okay, index equals to main and table this. Okay, I'll just save it. I'll go to edit mode again. I'll click on add input drop downs. Okay, so I'll give gender. Okay, token I'll give gender. Okay, now this particular drop down will be populated by the gender values. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll create a, also if you see it over here, it has a input called all as well. Okay, it's a value called all as well, so that all will be created by a static options. Okay, I'll give it a name all, value I'll give star. Okay, and rest of the two options, that means male and female, will be creating by search. Okay, I'll say stats count by, so our field name is gender, right? So I'll copy that one, gender. Okay, now default value I'll be selecting all. Okay, and anyway this is field for label will be my gender and field for value will be gender. If I apply, if you see, it will not create anything because Stats count by gender does not mean anything until and unless I am referring this particular base search. So I'll be saying search base equals to my base search. Okay, so if I click on save now, so this is ready. Okay, similarly I'll be going over here. I'll create another input, drop down. So this will be my ethnicity, correct? Label will be ethnicity, token will be, I'll just give it small e. Similar way, static options all, star, default value I'll choose all here, and my search string will be stats count by race underscore ethnicities or field name, right? This one. So field for label will be this one, field for value will be this one, apply. Okay, let it be. I'll just create other inputs, then we will add the base search name over there. Okay, so my third drop down is my parental education, right? I will give it a label this one. I'll give the token name as parent underscore edu. Okay, so similar way, static options all, star, default value I'll choose all. I'll give stats count by, so the field name is parental level of education, so I'll copy that one, this one. Now field for level, you have to be very careful, you cannot give within double quotes. Okay, you have to give within without double quotes, otherwise it will take it as a string. Okay, click on apply, add input, drop down, lunch. So this is lunch, token will be, I'll just give small l over here, static option all, star, default value I'll give all, and my search query will be stats count by our field name called lunch. Okay, lunch, field for label lunch, field for value lunch, apply. Okay, let's go to our fifth drop down, test preparation, add input, drop down, label will be test preparation. I'll give the token name as test underscore prep. Okay, all, star, all, stats count by test preparation of course. Okay, so as I said, field for label will be without the quotes, field for value will also be without the quotes. So you have to remember this one. When you have some special character in your field name, you have to apply, you have to go by this rule. Okay, and my last drop down is core graph by, right? So I'll just create the last drop down. Okay, I'll give the token as score underscore by, right? So it will all have static options, right? So what are the options we have it over here is all, both, gender and ethnicity, right? So it will be all by default, star, add new. Okay, both, the value will be both, add new, gender, the value will be gender, and ethnicity, ethnicity. Okay, ethnicity. Okay, so I'll click on apply. Okay, so and default value for this particular graph will be all as well, apply. Okay, so let's go back to our source and let us fix the base search. Now if you see, if you query a base search, right, if you refer a base search, you cannot give earliest and latest time at that particular level. So we have to remove this one, as we'll be running our base search based on all time. So I'll just add it over here and I'll just give 0 to now. Okay, similarly I'll just copy this base equals to base search, okay, to all other drop downs query. Okay, base equals to base search, and we'll be removing this earliest and latest token. Similarly here as well. Okay, parent education, similarly for lunch as well. Okay, similarly for test preparation. Okay, so we done, at least our drop downs are ready, so everything is populating properly. Okay, so let's move on. Let's create our first panel over here. So if you see, the initial two panels are male student count and female student count. Okay, so it's a single value field, right? So what will happen, I'll go to edit, I'll go to add panel, I'll click on new panel, and I'll say single value here, single value. Okay, and my, okay, I'll say male student count. Okay, my search string will be, so based on this search, so what will be, if I just wanted to count the number of male student, what will happen is I'll search for where my gender equals to male, right? And then after that I'll say stats, stats count, right? So this will give me the male student count. So exactly this search will be adding over there at the panel level as a post process search, right? So we'll give that one. I'll say add to dashboard. Okay, we'll go to source, we'll again copy this base equals to base search. Okay, and we'll put it over here and we'll remove this one. Okay, so our this panel is also ready. Now as we had in Splunk 7.2, well, I'll just turn on this dark theme. This is a really cool feature in Splunk 7.2. The dashboards looks really good, and over here I'll just format it, color, number format, general, I'll say okay, color, I'll say yes, and I'll just do like this. Okay, so similarly for adding a female count, right, we can just, so we are in a single row, right? So in that particular row itself we'll be adding another panel. So I'll just copy this guy, this panel level code, okay, and I'll paste it over there. So I'll just change the code over here, female count. So gender will be my female, right? Everything else will be same. So it should be creating the second thing as well, right? So let's move on. Let's first, without this particular radio boxes, we'll first implement this one. Okay, just the all part, right? So what I need to do, we need to add another panel with column chart, right? So I'll go to edit, add panel, new column chart. Okay, my query will be, so here my query will be stats, as it is average score, right? Average score of math, reading and writing, right? So stats average, average is my function, and then math score, right? Math score as avg underscore math underscore score, comma, average of reading score as avg underscore reading underscore score, comma, average of writing score as writing underscore score, average writing score, average writing score. Now this particular panel is based on gender, right? So that means it will be by gender. Okay, so this will be my code basically. So I'll just add this one at the panel level. I'll just add it to dashboard, and then we'll go to source again to fix the base search. So I'll just copy my base equals to base search. So this is my panel, right? So I'll say search base equals to base search, and this particular panel will give it a title called, or better, we'll do it from the UI itself. So here you can give a title, or you can give it over here. So we'll just copy it from here to save time. Okay, so this is my average score by gender. Remember, we still not fix those radio buttons because there only we'll be discussing all our change events. Okay, so we'll just creating our initial dashboard level first, then we'll talk about other things. Okay, so similarly, average score by ethnicity, what will happen, we will just go to edit source. Okay, it will be another row. So I'll just copy this row, right? I'll paste it over here, and I'll say average score by NICITY, ethnicity. Okay, so it will be by race underscore ethnicity, correct? Okay, and let's save it. Okay, so for the last panel, what we'll do, it is by basically ethnicity and gender. Okay, here the Trellis chart coming into picture, right? So our query will be similar. So it will be like average of math score, average of reading score, average of writing score by gender and ethnicity. It will give you this kind of table. If I go to visualization, okay, I'll select our normal column chart over here. If you see, there is an option called Trellis. Okay, I will turn on the Trellis over here, and I'll say split by race and ethnicity. So this is how it will generate the Trellis chart, and then I'll say save as my dashboard panel, existing dashboard. Okay, I'll select my student performance demo. Okay, I'll click on save. I'll say, I'll not say view dashboard. What I'll do, I'll refresh this dashboard. Okay, it should be creating our Trellis one. Now as we have seen, we have used the full query over there, right? So we already have a base search for this one. If I show you the query till this point to this point, we already have base search. So I'll be removing that one, and I will add base equals to base search. Okay, and if you see all the Trellis, again we have to remove this earliest and latest as well. Okay, as you see, all Trellis related things are already configured over here if you do it like this. Okay, otherwise you can do through XML as well. It's up to you. Okay, so if I just save it, so our initial dashboard skeleton is ready. Okay, so now we are moving into, okay, let us give it a name. This one, I'll just copy it from here. Okay, just give it a title. So now the initial requirement we'll be implementing is core graph by. Okay, so that means if I select gender, it should only show the gender graph. If I select ethnicity, it should only show the ethnicity graph. If I select both, it will only show this Trellis graph. and if I select all, it should show all. Okay, all of these three graphs. Okay, so for to do that, now here we are talking about you're selecting something from the drop down, right? So let's go back to our edit and source. Okay, so score graph by, let us search this one. So this is our input, total input over here, right? So score graph by, right? So now as we have discussed over here is whenever I am changing something from the form input level, the change event fires, right? So there are corresponding change tag over here. Okay, now inside the change tag we are basically capturing a lot of conditions, right? So now what will be our condition in this case? Condition is the tag name. Okay, now inside this condition, okay, it can be either normal condition tag without any condition, or it could be a condition as well. So now let's just see, when I will be selecting gender, right, from our drop down, that means when the value of the selected options will be gender. Now over here, if you see, we have two things over here. In the UI level, if I show you the drop down, in the UI level we can see capital G and DER, right? But we have defined the value of this particular thing as gender. So either you can make a condition with this one, or you can make a condition with this one as well. Now this one is called label and this one is called value. This small gender is called value. Okay, so first let us define our condition using label. We'll say label equals to our capital gender. Okay, so that means when I am selecting gender from my drop down, so this condition is basically telling me that. So what I'll do, I'll set a token. Okay, set token is equals to show gender column chart. Okay, and what I'll do is when I'll set this token, right, I'll make my gender graph depends on this token. Okay, so I'll copy this token and I'll be going to my gender graph. So average score by gender, this is my graph, right? So this particular panel will be dependent on, or even you can do it for the whole row itself, will depend on that particular token. So this is how we can write the depend, right, within double dollar sign our token name over here. Okay, depends. Okay, the name is depends. So our this one is dependent on that particular token. Similarly, let us go back again. Okay, so if I select this one, this will show up. Now if I select ethnicity, okay, this will show up the ethnicity graph. So let us build that condition, then we'll come back to this condition again to handle something else. Okay, so if my condition, now this time we will work with the value. So this is how you check the value. VALUE, value equals to ethnicity. Okay, so I'll set another token called THINICITY, ethnicity column chart. Okay, I'll go to my ethnicity column chart. Okay, this panel, or I think this is whole row label, depends on that particular token, right, within double dollar that token name. Let's go back here. Now let's this time use the match. You can see it over here. Either you can do by label, value, or match. Match means you can match with certain conditions like any value. If I say match is the keyword name, okay, if I say my token name, token value is both. Okay, so this is how you access the selected value for a particular input using this temporary token called value. Okay, so this token will hold the value whatever you selected. Okay, similarly for label also there is a token called $$ label. You can use that one as well. Okay, I'll say this one is double equals to both. Okay, so this time I'm checking with value, so that's why I'm taking small letter both. Okay, okay, and now the both is inside double quotes, right? So this is how you give quote over here, ampersand QUOT, comma. Okay, so colon. So this is the one. So I'll be setting up another token called both, right? And my last panel, the trellis chart, will be dependent on this particular token, right? So this particular row will be depends on that token, correct? So our initial setup is done, but only one thing we have to remember, we have not handled it over here. When I'll be selecting the gender, right, I do not want to see other two graphs, right? So that means I have to unset this particular, these two other tokens, right? So I'll be doing that one here. Okay, so unset token, our ethnicity token, and unset our both token. Okay, similarly when I'll be selecting ethnicity, I have to unset my gender and both token, right? So I'll be copying this one and unsetting this. So unset, unset. Okay, so gender token I have unset, and also both token we have to unset, right? Similarly for both I have to unset both of this gender and ethnicity. So unsetting the gender and unsetting the ethnicity. Okay, so this is how, if you see it over here, the change event I have captured, and based on that I have set unset some tokens, and I have made my panels based on those tokens, so that whatever I am selecting based on that, the panel will show and hide. Let us save it and let us see how it's behaving. Okay, so okay, I think we have not handled for all. Okay, let us do that one. So here we have only done for ethnicity, gender both. For all, that means whenever I am selecting all of these tokens will be set, right? Because I want to see all of this token. So this will be our condition tag without any proper conditions. That means this is a default value. I will be setting all of these tokens so that all panels will be show up. So this is how depends works, right? So whenever you make a particular panel depends on some token, when the token will be set, the panel will be showing up. Okay, when the token will be unset, the panel will be hidden. So select. Okay, so let us refresh the dashboard again. Okay, so by default all panels are showing up. So if I select both, only my trellis is showing up now, other two are gone, right? If I select gender, so only my gender is showing up, other two are gone, similar way. Okay, so I can go back to all and all are showing up. So this feature we have implemented properly. So now let's move on to the panel level, where we have to implement this particular radio buttons, right? So I'll go back to our dashboard level again. I'll be clicking on edit. Okay, so what I'll do here is first I'll just add a radio input. Okay, so then I will go to source, and that particular radio input I'll be cut from here. Okay, and I'll now go to my panel level. So my first panel is my gender wise, right? So this is how you add panel level radio buttons. You just paste the input over there. Okay, so let's give it a meaningful name for this particular token. Score gender graph score by. Okay, so now, and the label will be our average score of. Okay, or it'll say score of math, read and writing, right? So be to be very specific. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll go to UI. Okay, we'll go to that particular panel. So this that particular radio button is showing up over here, but it is a single radio button. Okay, so the first implementation is radio button orientation as vertical level. So this is called radio button stack. Okay, with a single input we can create all of these radio buttons. So what we need to do over here is just add static options over here. Okay, so first options will be all. Okay, the value will be all. Now the second options will be math, reading and writing, right? Math, the value will be by math, we'll say by all. Third one will be reading, the value will be by reading. Fourth one will be writing, the value will be by writing. Okay, and the default value will be, initial value will be all, my default value will be all as well. Okay, so if I just apply over here, if you see, it is vertically aligned, right? Now the main task begins. Now whenever I'll be selecting math, it has to only show the average math score, not the others. Okay, so for that, what we'll do, we'll go to our source label. Okay, we'll go to that corresponding radio button. Okay, this is how the radio button code is looks like. Now we have added lot of choice, right? So similarly, I'll be handling the change event over here, right? So whenever I'll be selecting some other radio button, again the change event will fire over here. So again I'll be capturing some conditions, right? Condition, first condition will be when my value will be by all. Okay, so here we'll just implement using this value. Again here also you can use using level, match, anything. Okay, so here when my value is all, right, so that means I want all of this average score, right? So I'll set a token called search string. Okay, search string with this particular string, that means this one. Okay, so why I am doing this, because okay, unknown attributes token. Okay, the spelling is wrong. Okay, we'll see that one. Okay, so this search string I'll be using in my query. So that means we are generating the query using a token. Okay, so similarly, when I'll be selecting the math radio button, that means my value will be by math. Okay, so what I only need the average math score. I do not need the reading score and writing score, correct? So I'll be deleting that one. So my runtime query will become something like this. Okay, similarly, I'll copy this one again. When my condition will become, that means I'll be selecting reading, that means value equals to by reading, that means this one. So what I want only the average reading score, correct? So that is what we will be copying it over here, okay, by gender. Similarly, for writing as well. So value equals to by writing. So that time I only need my average writing score. Okay, so my query string is ready. So what will happen? I'll just use this particular token over here. So runtime, it will generate. Okay, so as is a token, I have to give it inside $. Okay, so looks like it is ready. So let us test it out. Okay, we have refreshed. So all that means it is showing all of these three: writing score, reading score, and math score, right? So if I select math, now it is see, it's only math score is showing up over here. If I select reading, only reading score, writing, only writing score. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so again using change event, using capturing the change event, we have implemented this one, right? Similarly, we'll be implementing this one as well, but this time it will be a horizontally aligned radio buttons. Okay, so now you will see a difference over here, the implementation wise. Okay, so I'll again go to edit. Okay, again I'll just capture a radio, then I'll go to source and I will take that particular radio button code. Okay, so this is our code. So again I will go to our ethnicity panel. Now again I'll be pasting it over there. Okay, so I generally prefer changing from the XML. If you are good in UI level, you can always go to that level as well, but I always try to switch between XML and UI so that it is easier for me. Okay, so this one is showing up now. Now if you have seen it over here, whenever we are using a single input with a clustered radio buttons, right? With the single input itself, we have handled that one. But when you want to make it horizontally, you need 4 inputs over here. So that means you need to create 4 inputs there. Okay, so will be that is what we'll be creating it over here. So let me show you over there. Okay, so this is our ethnicity panel. This is our first input. I'll select, give this name as math. Okay, so the label will be, okay, first the one will be all. The label will be all. Okay, similarly, second input by math, by reading, by writing. So this will be math. Okay, my token name, I can give it math only, small letter math, and the value will be math. Similarly, this will be reading, right? So the value will be, okay, this reading and this reading. And while you are creating tokens, you have to remember that you should not give same token names, otherwise it will behavior will be different. And last one is our writing. Okay, so this will be writing. Okay, so all, this is the token value, right? All, and this will be all. Okay, if I just save it, you'll see now this is horizontally. Okay, so first thing we have to do is over here, if you see, these things are automatically handled when you select some token, right? The other token is getting, other radio button is automatically getting deselected, right? And by default we have given a all, right? So when the dashboard loads, so if I just show you over here, right? So by default it is selected as well. the all, because we have given the default value for this particular token as all. But here in this case we have to manually handle everything, right? And as well as the change events as well. Okay, we'll see that one. Here the change event will be a little bit tricky. Okay, so first thing is we have to handle. So if I select all, first of all, it is not clickable now, so we'll just work on this one first. The all. Okay, I have my token value is all. So this one, okay, so this is how we will be creating. Will not be giving the label. Okay, we'll be creating a static option as we have done for this one, right? All. Okay, and this default value will be all. Okay, and initial value will also be all for this particular token. So if I just apply it, if you see, all is coming from up to up here, right? So this is the value over here. Similarly for math as well, we'll do the same thing. We'll remove the label. Okay, we'll just create a static options math. Here I will not be selecting as default because by default I want the all to be selected. Okay, I'll click on apply. For reading as well, name value will be reading. I'll click on apply. Similarly for writing as well, I'll give it a name, value as writing. Okay, apply. Now when I'll be selecting this token all, that means rest of the other tokens will not be selected. That means should be deselected as well. Okay, there is no search query. I have given it over here. It's fine. So in that case, what I'll go to source level. Okay, I'll go to my ethnicity. So first two things we have to do it over here, right? This is our ethnicity graph and this is our tokens, right? Okay, I think by mistake I clicked on search query, so it was created that one. So you have four inputs over here. If you see, input one is all, math, reading and writing, right? So and the all input change label. Okay, so if I select all, that means I want all of this code. So as usual, when my value will be all, okay, first thing I'll do, I'll set a token called search string, right? This time I'll be setting search underscore string 1. I'll just give the token name as search string 1. Okay, and the value of this will be all of this score, average score by ethnicity, correct, as we have done before for gender level. Okay, value, unknown attributes value. Okay, change, we have to give condition value equals to all. Okay, and I will just remove this condition tag here. Okay, so for all it is done. Also when I'll be selecting all, right, so that time I have to unselect the other tokens. So here is the trick. In other scenarios, in other where we have only one input, it was automatically handled. But when you are creating multiple inputs, that time you have to remember, you have to unset something like this. Unset token is equals to the math, right? This math token. Also you have to unset form.math token, otherwise it will not work. Okay, similarly for writing and reading as well, I'll just copy them and I will unset token reading, unset token form dot reading, unset token writing. Okay, and unset token form dot writing. Okay, so you have to remember this one. Similarly, when I will be selecting for this particular input, when I will be selecting math, right? So again I have to handle the change event over here, right? Again I have to add the condition over here, right? Condition will be when my value will be math, right? So there I will be setting similar kind of search string but only with the math score, right? So that means I do not need these two guys. Okay, similarly I'll be unsetting other tokens as well. That means unsetting the reading, writing and all, correct? So I'll be copying that one, pasting that, and unsetting the all as well. So unset token all and unset token form dot all, unset token all and unset token form dot all. Okay, so this is also done. Similarly for reading and writing as well, so I'll just do it. Change condition, right? So my value will be reading, the value will be reading, my search string will be only by reading, right? So I'll just copy this one, average reading score. Okay, and then we have to unset math all and writing, right? So unset all, unset writing, and unset math as well. Where I can copy it from here. Okay, okay, so I have unset all. So similarly for writing as well, change condition. Okay, so then I'll just similarly my token value will be writing, right? So that means I am selecting my writing checkbox. Similarly I'll be setting this search string one token, right? In this case I will be taking my average writing score, correct? And I have to unselect all math and reading, right? So that means unset token all and form dot all. Okay, unset token reading as well. So unset token reading. Okay, and unset token math as well. I'll just copy it from here. Okay, so let us see now. Over here I have to use this search string one within double dollar, right? So let us see. Okay, so I'll just okay, so now if you see, if I just select math, okay, somehow it is not working. Let's see what's going on over there. Even reading also, let us see. Edit source, let's go back to that particular panel. Okay, all math reading. Okay, I think it is happening because of the default value. Even though I'm selecting other particular other radio button, as this all has a default value of all, so it is always getting selected. So instead of default value, we just keep the initial value as all. Okay, and we'll see that one. Let us save it. Okay, let us see it once whether the default value is gone or not. So from here we can also see it, the default value is gone. Okay, yeah, it was some glitch, that's why it was not able to not allowing me to save. So now if I just click it over here, it is showing the score based on ethnicity and math, right? So if I select all, it will show for all, similarly for reading and writing. So we achieve similar kind of behavior, but in different way over here. And we are also seen in the change event how it is differed when you have separate inputs over here. Okay, similarly you can implement any of this one for other chart as well. So let us not waste our time over there, and we will come back to another important stuff called search status. Okay, so now to do that one, let us create a use case over here. Now if you see it over here in the gender, right, if I just select male or female, okay, if I just select male, okay, so now it has to refresh all the dashboard. So to do that, what you need to do is you need to basically pass all of these tokens to the base search so that it will be refreshed over here for each and every drop down. Okay, so I'll just copy it from here, as it is very simple in nature. I'm just passing all this token in a search over here. Okay, so we'll save some time over here. So if I just save it, okay, just refresh the dashboard once. Okay, so whatever now you will be selecting from your drop down, it will be passed to all of these searches. Okay, and then it will show up over there, female again, or if I select male like this. Okay, okay, so to create the with use case, what we'll do it over here for those two single value, we'll implement it in different, it's slightly different way. I'll say stats count by gender. Okay, I'll show you why I am doing this one. Table count. Okay, it is basically doing the same, but over there we are doing first stats, then we are filtering with male. Okay, similarly stats count by gender, and gender equals to female, and table count. Okay, I'll show you why I have done that to create that particular use case. Okay, so it is working in the same way, because which is it would, but whenever I'll be selecting female now, if you see it over here, this particular one will show no result found, because we are doing the stats first. Okay, then we are filtering out, right? So if I just run this particular query, so what is happening over here is first I am sets counting by gender, right? Then I am doing the male count, but as I have my female already filtered it over here, right? So this particular condition it will fail, that means it will make it as no result found. Now I wanted to hide this particular panel when it is no result found. So this will be our use case for search phase condition handling. Okay, so for that what we'll do is we'll go to edit. This time we'll go to source. Okay, we'll go to our single panel. I'll be implementing for one panel. This is same thing for female panel also, we can do that. Okay, so here I have a search, right? So in the search I can basically query, or I can basically handle any of the search state, like whether we have seen it over here, right? Whether it's a done state, error state, fail state. So in this case, I'll be handling the done state when the search has been completed. Okay. So when the search has been completed, okay, if this particular search is not giving me any result, I'll set a token. Okay. This is how you condition, okay, condition, condition, okay. So this is how you check that particular condition when my result count, okay. So this is my event name. Here if you see, I am not capturing the change event, I am capturing the done state over here in the search. Okay, you have to remember this one. The condition again will be same. Now I'll be matching some condition. I'll say match. Okay, here for a search, Splunk search, there are a lot of job properties which you can check it from this particular link. I'll be providing this link in my video description as well. Over there you can see a lot of job properties here. We'll be using result count. Okay, we'll be using the result count property where it will say total number of results returned by search. Okay, this is how you do it. Within double dollar job, okay, dot the particular property name. Okay, job dot result count double equals to 0. Okay, I think this will be under, not under double quotes. This is just a property, it will be under single quote. Okay, no, we don't need double dollar over here. Okay, so if this condition is matching, okay, I will set a token. I want to hide this particular panel, okay, but still I am setting a token. If you remember previously when we use depends, right, we set a token, and when the token is set, the panel is getting show up, right? Here also I am setting the token. Here I wanted to show you another opposite of depend, which is called reject. Okay, hide mail single value, single value. Okay, so this particular token if I set, okay, now this token, this mail single count panel, it will reject that token, rejects that token. So this is just opposite of depends. You can implement with depends as well, but I just wanted to show you how rejects works. Okay, so that means when this token will be set, this panel will be hidden. Okay, and the token will be set only when it will not show up any result. Okay, and if it is showing any result, that means if it is proper, then we have to handle the default condition over there. Okay, so we'll be unset this token. That means whenever we unset this token, this panel will show up unset. Okay, so you can implement with depends as well, but as I wanted to show reject, so that's why I have done this one. Okay, so now let us save it. Okay, so now let us refresh our dashboard. Okay, so if I just select female from here, so as the male one is returning no result found, it is automatically getting hidden. Okay, so this is how that works. You can, the search level token setting also, this is how it works. Okay, now the last one I want to discuss it over here is the, when the dashboard loads, right, you can set a token that time as well. So suppose I wanted to, when the dashboard loads, initially I wanted to set this token preparation to completed only. That means all the results for this panels, all this dashboard will be filtered by the completed token test preparation data itself. Okay, so to do that, you can do something like this. In the first one, you can create a init tag. Okay, and say set token equals to our this token name, right? The token for test preparation, correct, to be completed. Okay, the value will be completed. completed. Okay, so when the dashboard loads, it will be set it to completed. So for that, what we'll do, we'll just refresh our dashboard. Okay, it did not set. Let me see it. Edit source. Okay, we have to use form dot. You have to remember this one. Whenever you are setting a token which belongs to an input, form input, right, you have to use form dot that token name. Okay, now it is now it is actually setting that token. So I'm refreshing my dashboard, and this token is automatically getting set up. So all my panels, as I am passing this token to my base search, right, so all my panels will be based on that particular completed result itself, right? My test preparation is completed, only those rows will be filtered by default. Okay, so this is how different levels of event handling works in Splunk. So as I have already discussed visualization, label, drill down and selection in very detail in any another video. So I have not discussed this one as well, but rest of the steps, this is how it works. And not only the done state of the search, right, you can basically capture any of this particular state of this search and set unset token based on that one. So in this case, you have to remember that only the match option works. Here we do not have the value and label because this is not a form input, right? And also over here, if you see the change event do not fire over here. Here what it fires is the search different states like done, error, fall, fail, cancel, something like this. Okay, hopefully this is helpful to you guys. See you in next video.